You are special, you're the only one, you're the only one of you.
This is joy to Ann Scheck-Snyder, sweet, simple joy, singing to 13-month-old Jacob while his twin brother Joshua plays by her side. She's so grateful for these boys, born a month premature. To her, they are perfection.
Kiss, kiss, brother.
But in reality, there were imperfections. Both were born developmentally slow. Up until a couple of months ago, they couldn't sit up by themselves, wouldn't hold a toy. Therapy 3 days a week has brought them this far. Therapy and the determination of Ann and her husband Ron. This is a story about that determination, about the rallying of a community around a young family, and about what many feel is the sheer power of faith. With all the boys' problems, the Scheck-Snyders faced no greater challenge than finding out that Jacob was severely hearing impaired.
We were devastated.
Devastated and almost disbelieving, until they noticed things for themselves.
If he was playing in his bed and I would go into his room, and if he didn't hear me, he was just playing in his own little world, and he would all of a sudden see me, it would startle him and he would start crying. And then I thought, you know what, he didn't hear me walk into his room.
But she always felt he could hear her singing, until...
And then one day I was singing to him, but I didn't make any sound, and he did the same response. So I realized he was responding to my face, not the sound of me. He was responding to the sight of me.
She realized then they were in for the long haul. Dr. Lindy Garisco of Ochsner Hospital says Jacob's impairment was nerve damage from birth.
That's correct. Typically, you can't treat this type of hearing loss at all. There's no medicine or surgery that can make this better.
Normal hearing can detect sound at 25 decibels. Total deafness is when sound as loud as 90 decibels cannot be heard. Jacob's right ear was up to 75 and his left ear at 55 decibels. The doctor prescribed hearing aids.
Jacob, you want to put your hearing aid in, buddy?
So at 7 months old, Jacob got fitted with tiny digital hearing aids.
Let's put your hearing aid in.
$5,000, not covered by our insurance.
But the story of Jacob had traveled through the Norco community.
People were knocking on my door, giving me checks for $100, $250, $300, $500. We did not ask one person for money, and within 10 days, we had $3,100 sitting in front of us.
And when everyone asked what else could be done to help Jacob, Ann could only tell them what she knew, that nerve damage never got better, only worse.
And everyone said, oh, just keep praying, just keep praying. And we prayed and we prayed. Everyone that we knew prayed. We had him on every prayer list imaginable, from Lafayette on.
And as they prayed, her husband remembered the story of Catherine Drexel and the 2 miracles attributed to her. The little girl who was born deaf, but now could hear. And the young man who lost his hearing at age 17 and miraculously regrew a bone in his ear to hear again.
My husband said, Ann, we've got to pray to Mother Drexel. He said, we've got to pray to her. And we both prayed, and we just kept thinking, you know, there's something bigger.
3 months later, they noticed Jacob behaving differently.
In August, he started babbling and talking and making vowel and consonant sounds.
And he started to fight to pull the hearing aid out of his right ear. Ann couldn't wait until October for a 6-month follow-up hearing test.
And in September, I went back and had another ABR test done, which is an audio brain response test.
The audiologist was shocked as she compared the old test to the new one.
She said, this ear is perfectly normal. And I just sat there and I said, thank you, Jesus. She redid a few things and she looked at it, she said, I have never seen this.
And Dr. Garisco had no explanation either.
I don't know. It certainly wasn't anything I did or any other physician did. It was very remarkable.
Do you believe in miracles?
Of course. You know, I've seen plenty of miracles since I've practiced medicine, started practicing medicine.
So even though the science says one thing, some other things can happen?
Absolutely, and I think that's a good thing. I think it gives people hope.
Joshua and Jacob play in their cribs as if they had never faced a problem. too young to know that a community embraced them through gifts and prayers. Jacob unknowing that for many, his hearing is nothing less than a miracle. For his grateful parents, there is only one answer: divine intervention by St. Catherine.
Never underestimate the power of prayer. We have a very good God.
This is Angela Hill.